Let's draw this simple desert landscape and talk about line weight. I'll also be using colored pencils in this sketch, and honestly, I love the look. As usual, I'll add links or reference those that have inspired me along the way as I'm learning and almost figuring out a style. Thanks for watching, and let's get started. First, I'm adding the sky and mountain wash. The last few videos, you'll notice that I love the wet on wet technique. Even if it doesn't need to be used, I'll use it. I'll find any reason to use it. It just makes me happy for some reason. Here I'm picking up or removing a little bit of the blue on the area that I'll be placing my mountaintop. I'm sketching the mountain with water first, then I'm dropping in the color at the edge of the waterline to give it a defined line. I've tried this technique on 100% cotton paper and 300 GSM watercolor paper that wasn't 100% cotton, and the results were so much better because the way the water spread, it looked like the harsher shadows that you see in a mountain. But on this paper, the color just seemed to melt into the water. So I wasn't too excited about the results in the sketch. There are also so many other factors. Maybe I put too much water. Who knows? But regardless, I do notice a difference in the paper. My main character of this sketch today is this lovely cactus. Sketching this character first will help me with the overall size and proportion of the drawing. I'm using a Uniball Ultra Micro pen for the initial sketch and sketching it super light and holding my pen really loose. Using this pen or any super fine point pen is really great if you want to get out of the habit of starting with a pencil first. And if you sketch light enough, these lines will disappear when you paint and add your final line work with a thicker point pen. I'm not going to draw all the cacti in the scene with my fine liner because this is where inking and line weight comes into play. For this sketch, I want to emphasize my main subject and a couple of its friends, so I'll draw 2 cacti and 3 of the bushes in the foreground in ink. I didn't realize as I was painting it that it would create a harsh line right here in the cactus. So I'm just kind of softening it up so that you won't see that line when I paint over it. So be aware if you haven't started your painting yet. colors that I'm adding to the cacti and the bushes is sap green. And for the darker part where I'm going to add the shadows, I'm just adding a tiny bit of black to the sap green. You'll notice I'm tapping in the color, and that's because I like the tiny burst the color makes, which will give it a textured effect when it dries. I put a tad bit too much water on this so the color isn't giving that effect. So don't make that mistake if you're painting with me unless you like how the color is spreading. But it's all subjective, right? Use your judgment on how dark you want the shadows. Here's my light source. So this side of the cacti and bushes will be in shadow. Another tool that I'm adding to my kit are colored pencils. I am having so much fun with these, and just the texture it creates on my sketches make it pop. The difficult part for me is just figuring out where to use them, but I'm definitely having fun figuring that out. So for this sketch, I'm using them for the background elements and shadows. I'm using Prismacolor pencils and Inktense pencils. I'm using these strictly for the color and look. Inktense pencils are water soluble, so you can draw your subject, then add water for the watercolor painted effect. I don't think I'll ever use them that way, but I do like how soft and bright their colors are. There is a lot I still need to learn about colored pencils, so if you're subscribed to my channel, you'll definitely be learning with me or watching me learn. If you're already familiar with colored pencils, water soluble or not, please share any tips you have in the comments. I and anyone else wanting to learn about this medium will greatly appreciate it. Now I'm using this calligraphy brush to dab on the bushes in the rest of the scene. Let's focus on line weight as I start my final inking process. This is a super easy rule. Anywhere there's a shadow, ink heavier, and that's it. Something so simple can elevate any sketch. I really love this look, and you'll definitely be seeing this in my future videos. Here I'm adding weight on the line by drawing it thicker, which adds emphasis on the shadow side of the subject. here is my final drawing. Hope you had fun with this. The techniques I used in this sketch will definitely carry over into my future videos, and whether you are loose, rough, or super clean with your drawings, hope these techniques and ideas have helped you as well. All right, until the next video, stay positive, stay creative, and be kind.